Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm showing another Project Life video from my 2017 Project Life album. This is a process video from June. You can see that I start by tearing the perforated edges off my photos. I use the Canon Selfie, and that's just how they print. I also had already cut this photo apart. It was with a photo from a different spread, so now I'm just kind of going through Project Life cards, trying to find something that I like to fit in this extra pocket. These are my top three, so I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. I realized I have this Grow stamp, which came from A Beautiful Mess, one of their Messy Box kits. Um, so I decided that I like the way that that looks, and so here I'm roughing up the stamp with my eraser because I've never used it before, so that's a tip for you. And I'm just looking at placement for the stamp on the card. So I do a couple test stamps just to make sure there's not any eraser left on the stamp, and also just to make sure that I'm inking it evenly throughout the whole stamp, and I stamp it on the card, and I like the way that it looks, so I go ahead and look at some other stamps that I have. I have a Kelly Perky kit that's kind of talking about bad days or, like doing your best, and so this month in the spread is kind of just about working on goals that I have for the year and kind of getting to a place where I'm doing better at self-care and things like that, because that's something that I struggle with. So this stamp says doing my best, and so I go ahead and put that underneath Grow, also on top of the leaf there, and I'm pretty happy with the way that that looks overall. And so now I'm kind of looking for some embellishments. I have these Heidi Swapp enamel dots, and I decided to use one of the smaller teal glitter dots there just to kind of embellish a little bit on that card. And then I call it good. Now I'm getting out a Kelly Perky stamp set that's based around kind of like visiting big cities or maybe living in a big city. And I decided to use the one that says in the park because I've never used it before. So you'll see I'm using the eraser again. But I like the way these stamps look because they have a really nice, clean, rectangular border, which works really well for putting on photos, I think. I do that an awful lot with her stamps. So here I'm stamping it on some white cardstock, and then you'll see me cutting it out. And then also just giving it a trim because I like it to have a pretty thin white border on the outside. So now I'm looking at placement for the stamp. I kind of wanted to put it at the top, but I don't like how it blends in with the clouds in the sky there. So I settle on the bottom and I adhere that. This is just kind of showing how Casey and I started taking some walks at work and kind of working on some goals and some self-care and being outside more and that sort of thing. So I really like how that's represented here. It's pretty simple, but I think it's important to document those things that are related to your goals. Next, I'm looking at the picture of myself in the top, and I want to add a date to this photo because I didn't do the date as much as I would like last year. So I'm using this largest Kelly Perky label stamp, which I use quite frequently with my Heidi Swapp date stamp because it's the only one that's wide enough to accommodate the whole date. So I'm stamping it also on the white cardstock and then cutting it out, again to have a thin white border because I don't like too much white edge on my stamps. And then you'll see that I'm going to put my date stamp only at the top of this label because I don't want the label to be huge. I don't want a ton of white space on it. So I'm actually going to adhere it and then cut the edge off. So that way there's not a lot of room. Just blank space, I think that would be distracting. So I'm trying to figure out how to use this wood veneer and it just doesn't quite look right. So I give up on that. I move some cards around and then I decide to move them back again to where I had them in the first place. So I finally put down this date stamp on the edge of my picture here, and then I cut off the edge of the stamp, and I'll probably use the piece I cut off on something else later. So now I'm looking at adding some more of these Heidi Swapp enamel dots. I add a turquoise and another teal, and then I feel really good about it. So this can kind of give you an idea of how to use kind of seemingly small moments and how to document those, how to document growing. And I love how this turned out. It's very simple. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see on this channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.